How to create a Halloween-themed animated jack-o'-lantern face effect in DaVinci Resolve 20. Inside your project's Edit window, go to Effects. Underneath Toolbox, select Effects. Go to Add a Fusion Composition clip to your timeline. Using the Selection Mode tool, which you can also do by pressing A, click and drag at the end of the clip to adjust the duration if you wish, with the duration difference indicated at the top and the overall clip duration indicated at the bottom inside the black box which appears next to your mouse cursor. Let go once you're done. Right click on your Fusion Composition clip and go to Open in Fusion page. Inside your Fusion Nodes panel, go to Add a Polygon tool. We will use this new node to create the triangular jack-o'-lantern eye shape. Select either left or right view underneath this new node to see a preview of the shape that you're about to create above your Fusion timeline. Click on the preview screen, click to add 3 connected dots that will make up a triangle. On the third click, ensure that you click on the initial space where you added your first node, so that all lines join together. We will adjust the size and position of this eye later on. To add gentle feather to the edges of your eye shape, increment soft edge slightly. Here in this example, I will increment this to 0.0015. And ensure that invert and solid are both ticked so that we can see the animated flame effect later on. Reselect Polygon 1, holding Ctrl and press C to copy. Use Command instead of Control if you're a Mac user. Deselect Polygon 1 by clicking anywhere on the empty nodes grid and holding Ctrl and press V to paste. We will use this duplicated polygon tool to create the nose. For future reference with each of your nodes, you can select each of these and press F2 to rename these. Here in this case I will do it as eyes and nose. Deselect both of these polygon nodes. Go to click and add a merge tool. Connect eyes and nose to either the yellow or green arrows of the merge node. Select merge 1. To ensure that both the eyes and nose appear on screen, under Inspector and Merge, change operator from over to in. With merge 1 still selected, hold in Shift and press space. Inside the Select tool window which appears, using the search box at the bottom, go to find the Mirrors tool, select this, and go to click on Add. Ensure that either left or right view underneath Mirrors is also selected, to see a preview of your current face effect. Then select the Eyes node, and adjust the horizontal and vertical positioning using the Center X and Y properties respectively. To turn the facial features, use the Z rotation property. Adjust the size properties for both the eyes and nose until you are satisfied with your outcome. Since the mirror effect is applied at the halfway horizontal point of our canvas, we should see reflections of the nose and eye shapes appearing on either side of the screen. Reselect Mirrors once again and go to add a second merge tool, which should be automatically connected via the yellow background arrow. As we did with the first merge tool, ensure that the operator setting under Inspector and Merge is set to in, as this will enable us to have the smile effect appearing on screen also later on. In order to add the smile itself, deselect Merge 2, go to Add an Ellipse tool. I will add a very gentle feather effect to the edges of this circle by incrementing soft edge to 0.004. As we did with the polygon nodes, ensure that both invert and solid are both ticked, to apply transparency to the smile so that we can see the flame effect later on. I will adjust the width of the circle so that the ends of the smile stretch out roughly parallel with the ends of the eyes. Connect Ellipse 1 to the green foreground arrow of Merge 2 and select either left or right view underneath Merge 2 to see how the overall effect looks so far. At present the ellipse shape covers too much of the canvas. In order to ensure that the nose and eyes appear again with Ellipse 1 selected, go to Add a Rectangle tool. Adjust the horizontal and vertical position of the rectangle using Center X and Y respectively, and adjust the width and height also to remove part of the circle which is currently obscuring the eyes and the nose. Once you are satisfied with the shape of your smile, we can now apply some teeth to this ellipse shape. With Rectangle 1 still selected, go to Add another Rectangle tool. Select either left or right view underneath Rectangle 2 to have a clearer view of how the tooth shape will appear. Reduce the width and height to ensure that this only covers part of the smile. And as previously done with the first Rectangle tool, adjust the horizontal and vertical positioning using Center X and Y. With Rectangle 2 selected, holding Ctrl and press C to copy, and with Rectangle 2 still selected, holding Ctrl and press V to create a duplicate copy which is automatically connected to Merge 2. Ensure that left or right view is selected underneath this. Here in this case, I will shift this over to the far side of the smile and readjust the vertical positioning to add variation to the smile effect. I will now add one more tooth which I will apply to the bottom of the smile. With the current rectangle tool still selected, I will hold Ctrl and press V to paste. With this new tool selected and with left or right view selected under Merge 2 once again, return to Inspector and adjust the horizontal and vertical positioning as well as the width and height as you wish. In order to reduce the number of nodes that appear on screen, I will hold Ctrl and press G to group these. First starting off with the first 4 nodes, which I will highlight and rename as eyes and nose by pressing F2 once the group is created, and by highlighting the ellipse and rectangle shapes and pressing Ctrl and G and pressing F2 to rename this as smile. Ensure that all nodes are deselected by clicking anywhere on the Empty Nodes grid, then go to add a third merge tool. Connect Merge 2 to the green foreground arrow of this. We will use this third merge tool to apply the background colour to this effect. Deselect Merge 3, go to add a background tool. Connect background 1 to the yellow background arrow of Merge 3. In order to ensure that the background shade appears, select Merge 3, go to Inspector and underneath Merge, change Operator from Over to Mask, which will enable us to see the animated flames later on. Select Merge 3, hold in Shift and press Space, go to add a drop shadow effect. We will use this node to emphasise the hollow interior of the jack-o'-lantern. Increment shadow strength to 0.8. I will change drop angle to 103 to position the shadow effect at the upper side and create a minor 3-dimensional look. I will keep drop distance and blur set at their default values of 0.05 and 0.55 respectively. Now to add the flaming animation effect. Deselect Drop Shadow 1, go to add a fourth merge tool. To ensure that the mask effect appears in front of the flames, I will connect Drop Shadow 1 to the green foreground arrow of Merge 4. Deselect Merge 4, go to add a Fast Noise tool. Connect this to the yellow background arrow of Merge 4. Select either left or right view of Merge 4 to see a preview of the fast noise through the jack-o'-lantern effect. I will keep detail, contrast and brightness set at their default values, but to add further variation to the fire pattern, I will increment scale from 2 to 4, so that the contrasting colours become more apparent. To animate the fast noise like a flame effect, I will increment see-through rate from 0 to 1. Now to apply the colours, go to Colour, double click on the black box next to Colour 1. Here I will add the following hexadecimal code #FFAA00 for the first colour shade for the flame. Click OK. Then to add the second one, double click on the white box next to Colour 2. Here I will apply an orange colour using the code #FF5500. Click OK once you're done. With Merge 4 selected, hold in Shift and press Space, and go to add a Soft Glow tool. With Soft Glow 1 selected, go to Inspector and underneath Controls. To increase the vibrancy of the glow, increment the value for gain. Here in this example, I will increase this to 2.875. To spread the glow out from the jack-o'-lantern shapes, increment the glow size. Here I will increase this from 10 to 35. And to reduce the blurred effect that appears once this is applied, reduce the value for blend. Here in this case, I will decrease this to 0.465. Now to add light rays emitting from the jack-o'-lantern shapes. With Soft Glow 1 selected, hold in Shift and press Space, and go to Add Rays. Connect this new tool to Media Out 1, with the left or right view selected underneath Media Out 1. With Rays 1 selected, go to Inspector and underneath Controls, reduce the strength of the light rays by decreasing Blend to 0.575. Keeping the decay value set to 0.01 will ensure that the light rays spread out from the jack-o'-lantern shapes. To prevent the jack-o'-lantern shapes from becoming too obscured, you can also reduce the value for weight. Here in this example, I will decrease this to 0.9. Increasing exposure could lead to the light rays spreading out more. Here in this example, I will keep the default value here at 1.0. And to enhance the strength of the light rays further, I will decrease the value of threshold to 0.0. Double click on each of the groups if you need to go back and readjust some of the properties. Click the Close button in the top left corner to go back to your normal node screen. If you wish to add more curvature to your smile, you can also select the Raise node, hold in Shift and press Space, and go to add a grid warp tool. Click and drag from the relevant points of the matrix to apply relevant warp effects to your jack-o'-lantern face. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that video was useful to you. If you enjoyed the content and wish to be notified about future uploads on this channel, please like, share and subscribe. Join me soon for another video. Take care. Happy Halloween.